Welcome, everyone. Glad to see you here. Please help me welcome to the lectern our presiding officer, Ms. Roz Carter.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. From all over the world, we have, look at this, our guest, Elios from Indonesia. And who else is from out of the country? Raise your hand and say where you're from.
Abe?
Hey, hi, Abhay, I'm from Bangalore in India,
All
and
right.
I'm master from last 5 years.
Wow, welcome.
Well,
Thank you. Georgina's brand new. Where are you from, Georgina?
I'm from San Diego.
Oh, that's right. You're not that far away from me. I'm in Riverside. Okay. Well, the fact that Toastmasters is international, does anyone remember what this month is?
100th anniversary.
Exactly. Exactly. We are celebrating the 100th anniversary of Toastmasters when a little old man named Dr. Ralph Smedley started this whole thing. And look where we are today. So many clubs to choose from. You could be a member of one club or more than one club. You can be a member of a club in your neighborhood or across the oceans. There are so many opportunities. And with Zoom, that's why we have some of our guests today. We know that we are international, so therefore we don't meet in person. We had discussed doing that or perhaps doing hybrid, but we chose not to. So we hope you still don't mind that we are an online club. How many of you like getting up and setting up your Zoom screen on your computer and getting ready for a Toastmasters meeting? Yes, I do too. And to have to get dressed and get in my car and drive a few miles for a meeting, I have not done in so long. I don't know if I will ever be ready for it again. But thanks to Zoom, we have a lot going on. And listen, Elios, I think because I'm using my cell phone, I saw your message, your text message. Is it just for me or is it for everyone in the chat box?
No worries.
Say that again.
No
I
worries,
have
no
seen that
worries.
too. I think it's for everyone.
For everyone. Okay, you could repost it and post for everyone in the chat box because that's how we communicate besides talking it up. So today we have a Toastmaster and we have two speakers and we have table topics and a general evaluator and timer. Our timer is, oh, we don't have a timer, do we?
April Gillis. I don't think I may not have printed at the bottom, but I'll be your timer today.
Okay, April, thank you. Tell us what you're going to do and show us your timing device.
Absolutely. Thank you to our VPE for helping me get on board with our timing. And our timing for today, our speakers will both be speaking for 5 to 7 minutes. So I will use my video background. At the 5-minute mark, you will see the green. At the 6-minute mark, you'll see the yellow. At the 7-minute mark, you'll see the red. And you will have 30 seconds to wrap up your speech in order to qualify. We are getting ready for contest season coming in next year. So please adhere to the timing lights because we do want to see amazing speeches within qualifying time. Following each speech, and this is a note for our guests, each of our members will have 3 to 4 minutes where we give round robin feedback. And so after each speech, again, we'll have 3 to 4 minutes to give feedback, and I will time that as well. Thank you so much, and back to you.
All right. Now, our Toastmaster today is a star of our club. He has 2 DTMs in Pathways, and he also is in charge of our public relations and all of the announcements that you see about our club on Facebook, Instagram, and other social media. He creates all the posters for our meetings. So you see how he pulls the picture of the member and places it on the poster so that you could see who is going to be a part of the meeting. Why does he do that? Because he's gifted. Bond Wang, please take the stage as our Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Madam BPE Presiding Officer. I'm so glad that you come back to take the real. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. We do have a few guests coming in. Thank you so much for coming. And welcome to this Pathways dedicated meeting. For some of you who are first time, every first Wednesday of the month, we run this Pathways dedicated meeting. We do have the Pathways speeches and we discuss anything about Pathways. This is one of our regular meetings, but somehow it also has some special meaning, because if you are in Toastmasters and you must be hearing this word for some time recently across Toastmasters community. What is it? Outage, right? Shut down and upgrade. These words are around us, and they have generated some confusion, some concerns, what's going to happen to their pathways if they are running one or several. So I think now today, the reason I signed up for Toastmaster of the Day, I think maybe it's time for us to have a little bit of preparation or instruction for those who are running a pathways path, or who are preparing to give a speech during that time. For your information, the outage time is October 9th to October 25th, a little bit longer than 2 weeks. I quickly wrap up with some materials, and for your information, I hope I'm not holding too long time, especially for our 2 wonderful speakers. And our second speaker, Burton, I haven't seen her zoom in yet. So let me quickly start to give you a little bit of information about this upcoming outage. That is also our theme today, outage. What's going to happen? I quickly share the screen. And can you see my screen? Quickly check. I cannot read myself.
Yes.
Oh, there's a PowerPoint slide.
Yes.
Number one, what's going to happen after October 25th, if they do that right? Again, if they do that right, we do have a lot of history about headquarters do something wrong or not as they planned. If they do that right after October 25th, currently we have 11 paths that will be reduced to 6, and some paths will remain in the system, and some of them will be deleted, will be removed. But that doesn't mean if you are in the middle of one of those paths that are supposed to remove, they will disappear in your system. No, you can continue that, but that might be new system. And what we mean being removed is they are not available for new purchase. So after that date, if you want to purchase a new pass, only these 6 pass are available. You cannot purchase new ones. But if you are currently running that and you haven't completed by that time, you can continue your pass after that time. That's what's going to happen. How to prepare for that? Let me switch to other side.
I hear some noise in the background.
Let me,
Is that you, Charles?
okay, it's gone. I'm going to get back to the web page. There are some ways for members who are running the project to prepare for this upcoming impact. How many of you are running a Pathways project at this moment? By showing your hand. Okay, see, I see quite a few hands up. So most of us have enrolled for a pass or you're running on one of the levels. What you can do right now, this is my profile page. And you go to your Basecamp. By seeing the outage, it's not in the Pathways outage. We see the Basecamp outage, but Basecamp, the main content in our Basecamp is Pathways. And you get into Basecamp, you found your home club where you will implement these changes. You can switch to other club, especially it's meaningful in our club because we are an advanced club. Many of us have other clubs to belong to, and they can choose other clubs. And you get to your, this is the Pathways. So you get to your path and learning and pick one of the paths that you are running in case you are running multiple paths at the same time. Here is my path educational list, but obviously I don't have a path right now because I have completed all my paths before this takes place. But for the purpose of demonstration, I can go back to one of the passes that I have completed. For example, I have this engaging humor. I just finished that recently. You can open this curriculum. This is the important part. Here you have completed all 3 projects and you think you already completed that. No, you haven't completed that. You have to complete the 4th project, which is not a speech. It is just a one click to mark the completion. By doing that, you will send an approval inquiry to Basecamp manager in your club, and they will approve the completion. Otherwise, this level will remain incomplete. So what's going to happen if it is incomplete during that outage time? We don't know. There is many things, but it is not subject for today. So our suggestion is make sure if you already completed 3 required projects, make sure you click mark completion because I already clicked it. It doesn't show the mark completion. But here is what you should click. And to mark completion, send this inquiry to Basecamp manager before October 9th. That's very important. And secondly, in case you are not running for a project right now, but you happen to have a plan to give a speech during that outage time, October 9th throughout October 25th. You don't want to start the learning right now. It's too early, but you might be doing that during that time. So don't let this outage stop you from learning during that time. What you can do, you should download some learning materials for this project. For example, you are going to give an icebreaker speech during October 9th to October 25th, and you should download some materials. Here, you can launch this project, and this is a typical, this is still downloading. Let me wait for somebody. Here is a typical LMS system. If you have been running pathways for some times or in other situations, you have been engaged with the LMS learning management system, they are all similar. It's a whole pack of slides going through the website. There are links, there are videos, whatever they can combine them together into one learning materials. And let me go to the beginning. Here is a beginning slides, but you don't want to learn that now. You want to do that during the outage time. What you can do is go down to the bottom. Here is our optional list leading you to the different session of this project. And you should go down to your evaluation. It's almost at the bottom of the whole list. And here you have the resources list. And we would suggest you download the evaluation form. That is the first link. And this, most importantly, you should download this whole project in terms of PDF. They may have some shortcomings. For example, video not available, some material not available because it is a PDF, it's not a website, but it's still worthwhile. You download that and make sure you will get to study this project during that outage time. That's what we have gathered, how to prepare for that. And an evaluation form, there is one information evaluation form. We suggest you download that, but if you didn't do that during that time, there is a separate system which is called Toastmasters Library. It is separate from Basecamp system, and you can still find evaluation form in case you want that, you need that during that time. Okay, I'm going to stop here. Thank you so much for your time. I have second part. I might bring that up in the next session of our meeting. So I don't want to hold up too much time. Let me move on to our regular session of this meeting. We have two wonderful speakers this morning. And the first one, we have our Taya Reid. Great to see Taya Reid. We haven't seen you for a while. We all miss you in our meetings. I do have this Taya Reid's the speech introduction here in our FreeToast Host website agenda. I'm going to read it. So our next speaker has been a Toastmaster for quite a while and is looking forward to completing her Visionary Pathways program this year. Now she is working on speech number 1 from the Develop Your Vision, this project called Develop Your Vision. Over the next 5 to 7 minutes, Taya is going to share her vision for creating a fulfilling and impactful career aimed at supporting adoptees. And please help me welcome Toastmasters Taya Reid. Here I want to add her speech title, I Found Her. Taya Reid.
Well, fellow Toastmasters, it has been a good while since I have been in this space with you to connect, to share, and to listen. Thank you for holding space for me today. Well, back in May, we, meaning Roz and I, decided to enter into what was known as a fallow season of our podcast. For those that may be new to this term, fallow, it is a farming technique for when you allow the land to lay untilled and uncultivated for a period of rest. And rest is what I did over the last 4 months. But now it's time to wake up and cultivate the land. Yesterday was my birthday. And one of the ways that I honor this day is to run. Yes, I run. I find a trail. I put my buds in my ear and I take off at a jogger's pace. I'm not so much concerned with speed in this run, but more about movement, finding my pace, breathing in and out. And yesterday's run allowed me to reflect on the journey that has led me to this point. It's been a winding path filled with twists and turns, but through it all, I've been slowly but surely building a strong foundation for myself. This past year has been a journey of even greater self-discovery, a journey that has been deeply intertwined with talking and writing out loud my adoption story. Finding her over 17 years ago was a pivotal moment in my life. It was a missing piece of the puzzle finally clicking into place. But it's also been a catalyst for even deeper exploration. As I learn more about my roots and heritage, I'm also uncovering hidden parts of myself. Turning 54 feels like a turning point. I'm embracing my authentic self, shedding old layers that no longer serve me, and building a strong foundation for years to come. It's a time of celebration and of honoring the woman that I've become to this point. Finding her has been a gift, but it's also reminded me that the most important journey is the one within. It's about finding ourselves, embracing our true identities, learning about our unique stories, and living a life that's true to our hearts. As I welcome in this new year of my life, I'm filled with hope and excitement for the future. I'm grateful for the opportunity to continue this journey of self-discovery, and I'm eager to see what adventures lie ahead. So with that, here's my vision. Let me share my screen. So I found her. My vision statement is to be able to create a fulfilling and impactful career that supports adoptees in their self-discovery and empowers them to embrace their unique identities. I will do this through 5 guiding principles. Empathy and compassion by being deeply understanding of the adoptee experience and providing them with support without judgment. I will empower adoptees to recognize their strengths, overcome challenges, and achieve their full potential. And I will raise awareness of adoption issues by advocating for their rights. I will foster a sense of community and belonging. And through this all will be lifelong learning as I continuously expand my knowledge and skills to better serve the adoptee community. So looking out 1 to 2 years as I build this strong foundation, it will comprise of me completing relevant training. It will allow me to gain experience by working with adoptees specifically through my private practice. It will allow me to develop a strong online presence and network with other adoption professionals and organizations. To continue to refine my niche, I will identify specific areas of interest of expertise focused in trauma, focused in building family relationships and identity development. I will develop specialized skills and knowledge in this chosen niche and create targeted content and resources for this audience. And then moving out, this will allow me to establish my expertise and expand my impact. I hope to become a recognized expert by speaking more frequently, building this strong content to share with others through a journal and other writing publications, by collaborating with other adoption organizations, and hopefully developing and launching a coaching and consulting practice. So in closing, I will share with you, to anyone who is on their journey of finding themselves, I want to say this: keep running the race that is set before you with perseverance. It's not always easy, but it's so worth it. Embrace your story, celebrate your strengths, and never give up on the search for your true self. Thank you.
Thank you, Taya, for this beautiful speech. Again, happy birthday to you. A little more official. Your speech really reminds me about a saying that nowadays, in the age of the digital world, to complete a project is to do that in public. I really appreciate you sharing all your plans, short-term, long-term, with us. Let's go down to this round robin evaluation session. In our club, we run a special part of evaluation where more members rather than one evaluator to give their feedback to the speakers. So here, Miss Timer, April, if you can make a mark of 3 minutes, and we will invite individual members to come up to share their thoughts and give their feedback to Taya's speech. Any volunteer? Any thoughts? Okay, I have Charles.
Taya, first off, belated happy birthday. In listening to your speech, I think that your speech and your next pathway in life will be so anchored by your personal experiences. And I think you showed that in your speech, that you have a basic sense of where you're going and why you want to do it because of your situation. Always let people feel they could be a part of your experience, and that will help make it so much easier for them to open up. Great speech.
Thank you, Charles. And I see Ross. Hey, Ross.
Yes, Mom here. I want to thank Taya for sharing her story. And I see you on a large stage with a huge audience listening to your story and wanting to invest in their own finding of themselves. And you can teach them how to do it by your example, and then perhaps some new examples that they might bring up to you in the audience to ask, how can I do this? Or what can I say? Or what can I do to start this journey? So keep going, embrace your gift, and tell the world how to find themselves.
Thank you, Ross. You must be a proud mom.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah, seeing your daughter grow tremendously. Thank you so much. April.
Thank you so much, Taya, for speaking. I'm always moved to tears whenever you speak. And so I just appreciate it. I think when you speak with such a delicacy that I feel like you're tending the soil and uplifting rocks and weeds that could be very much so difficult to move, but because of your care and your tenderness, it's almost like weeds or even a splinter in a child's finger that could seem very painful to take out, but the intentionality and care with which you speak, your tone, you're bringing healing to what could be very painful spaces, but your intentionality with that care is very much so felt. And so my only feedback is to continue speaking more, maybe request 8 to 10 minutes next time. But I definitely appreciate and see the intentionality and the care in which you tend the soil of the human soul. So thank you for that.
Thank you, April, for sharing your thought. So any more feedback from the audience? Seeing none at the moment, and I'm also seeing our timing signal already. So let's move on to the next session. As I said, our second speaker hasn't showed up yet. Karma Burton. I quickly take a few moments right now to carry on with my preparational instruction for this upcoming outage. This part will be short. We talk about how the individual members should prepare for themselves, but meanwhile, the club also can do something to help individual members and also help clubs as well, because Pathways project completion also goes to our DCP credit, if you know what that means. What the club can do, they are the regular steps, nothing really special, but you should be more mindful and should be more concentrated during the next few days until October 9th happens. So what you can do is Basecamp manager, we have 3 Basecamp managers in one club. Try to be mindful and check your inquiry notice more frequently than you normally do. If you found the approval inquiry, approve that quickly. I don't know the meaning of doing that. It's still very unclear because I saw some private message in the chat box. What's going to happen if I haven't completed one project? I don't know. And there are many saying online. But what we can do for preparation, at least the Basecamp manager can approve them quickly before that day takes place. And meanwhile, we still have this award submission system in Club Central, where there was a saying after this new system comes online, this step will be removed, which is good news because it's always 2 steps to have this award credit connected. But right now, you still need to go to Club Central. As far as you are an officer, 7 officers, everyone has this access. Go there, but you should have a clear communication with that individual member. Is this right the credit you want to contribute to our club? Or is this level correct before I submit? Have a full and clear communication with this individual member, and then as an officer, submit that award for this member. Again, we don't know what's going to happen when it gets into the outage. So for preparation, very quick. For the club, we can do 2 steps. Approval their completion and submit award. Okay, thank you for your time. And if you have more questions, feel free to reach out to me. And we do have more Pathways and Basecamp experts in our club. We are an advanced club. We do have some experts. I maybe mention some names: Ross Carter, Melinda Moganzo, Frankie. Yeah, some other members. We are all experienced in Pathways. So feel free to reach out to us. We can help. Let's move on to next session, where we will have more smaller discussions, but is still very interesting, very insightful, which is table topic session. Leading this session is a individual. I don't know what to say. She is my mentor. She is my coach in many parts of Toastmasters, sometimes outside of Toastmasters. And I always enjoy her speech and her leadership. And with that said, please help me welcome this morning Table Topics Master, Ross Carter.
Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster. And hello again, everyone. We have time to share little impromptu thoughts. And since this is the month of the founding of Toastmasters, I've found some centennial inspired table topics online. So be prepared to say whatever crosses your mind without any preparation when I call on you. And my first victim, I mean, member is Mariatu. We haven't heard from you in a while, but it's always wonderful to see you. Based on the history of Toastmasters, you know that Dr. Ralph Smedley is the name of the person who founded this organization. And he was once quoted as saying, "We learn in times of enjoyment." Name an opportunity or a meeting where your learning in Toastmasters was full of enjoyment.
I would say it will have to be with, thank you, Madam Toastmaster. I would say it will have to be with Melinda. Melinda is always so energetic when she's on Toastmaster. I just love the energy she brings to the group. With everything that she goes through, and we see her doing a lot of therapy on Facebook. And this woman comes on and she has this energy that is just beyond imagination. Sometimes I really can't even understand, or we can't even go around complaining. We shouldn't even go around complaining, because this woman comes in and you know she's going through something, but she has nothing stopping her. She's just going fast forward. And I am so amazed when I watch her. I'm like, oh my gosh, this woman has energy and she will reach out to you whether you like it or not. There are times, I've tried to avoid talking, but she keeps pushing me. And so when I see her pushing me the way she does, it makes me keep coming on. And I am actually ready for Mastermind because of her. So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you, Melinda.
Wow, that was awesome, Mariatu. This is like an inspiring message that we all need to hear. Sometimes we need that member with the energy to nudge us and get us back on our feet and get us into practicing more and giving speeches and doing meeting roles. So thank you, Melinda, and thank you, Mariatu, for that recognition. Now, I'd like to call on one of our guests, Valerie. Would you like to answer the next question?
Oh, yes, can you hear me? Thank you.
Yes, 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 yes. And first of all, you have Tennessee in the part that I read under your name. Are you okay during this hurricane season?
Yes, thank you for asking. And I had chat from Charles asking about was I affected by the devastation of the flooding? Not where I live in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, but I have been to the places and I know the places that have undergone that tragedy and the devastation. It's only about an hour and a half from us, but
Oh,
northeast.
wow.
I am below
Wow.
Norris Dam, so we're
Okay.
watching the Norris Dam. So
Well, it's good to hear that you are in a safe zone and that you
Thank
have taken time to join us today. I have a question for you.
you.
Helen Blanchard was the first female international president of Toastmasters, and I'm not sure if you know that or not. She joined Toastmasters under another name because at the time women were not allowed to join Toastmasters. And her club had a table topics contest, and they selected the name Homer. If you had the chance to change your name, what would it be and why?
Thank you, Table Topics Master Ross Carter. What a terrific question. If I could change my name, would I and why? And I didn't know that historical account of being the first woman president of Toastmasters International. There's so much historical facts coming out with this 100th year centennial anniversary celebration.
Yes.
Well, for me also this past year, as you can see, it's been a year of great discovery and self-reflection, figuring out what's important and what's not. But if I could change my name, well, for one thing, it's spelled with an A, Valerie, Valarie. And my great grandmother, my Nana, lived with us, and she used to call me Valeria. And I thought it sounds like malaria. It's not my name. Well, until I was 18, I spelled it with an E, Valerie. I didn't know that my mother spelled it wrong in the birth certificate. She spelled it with an A. But when I was applying to colleges back in the day, I needed my birth certificate. I said, I've been spelling my name wrong all my life, Mom. So I guess I would not change my name. I used to go by Val when I was young. And there's an interesting fact. I married my husband. We were high school sweethearts. His father's name was Val. His brother's name is Val. So imagine who would have thought that you grow up, and become part of a family with more Vals. Their full names are Valmore. It's more of a European name. But thank you for that question. Those are some useful trivia tidbits, useless trivia tidbits about myself. Thank you for letting me take some space in your meeting.
Thank you so much. Thank you for responding. Abhay, I'm going to call on you next. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yeah, it's absolutely correct. Abhay.
Abhay. Okay. Now, Dr. Ralph Smedley was a stamp collector. Did you know that? Have you heard of that in all the centennial resources that are coming up? So he was a stamp collector. Is there something that you collect and you could tell us about and why?
Good morning, Toastmasters and fellow guests. When I was a kid, in my school, there was a big collection of coins. So one of my seniors has collected a variety of coins of different countries, of different ages. So at that time, I want to collect different types of coins. And I also started collecting, means I have some 100 varieties of coins. As I grew up, I got fascinated with the cycles. And one of my seniors again have a variety of cycles. But my mother told no, one cycle is enough for you. So my that dream also stopped there. As I grew further, I had the means have fascinated by the bikes, the two-wheelers. But again, that time my fiance stopped me. No, more than two bikes is enough. But as I grown old, I just want to collect the memories that I had from my childhood to this particular age. And I just want to collect that over and back to Toastmaster. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that response. Georgina, I'd like to ask you the next question. I see that Taya has to leave, and that's okay. She's probably got clients lined up for her after this meeting. So thanks for dropping in and giving a speech. Madame Hay, Georgina, there are things that we are still learning about through the history of the centennial year of Toastmasters. But in 1936, 98 years ago, one of the famous table topics questions was, should I keep a diary? And if so, why? Do you keep a diary, and tell us why?
Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master. I am learning a lot from the Centennial. I think I haven't gotten onto the Toastmasters email list again. I am a member, but I just rejoined, so I didn't hear all these fun facts about the founder, and I'm actually admiring that they were able to find out these things because I've become interested in history, personal histories myself. So when I grew up, and I think I'm not sure how it was for people in other countries, but in the US, we have a very, or at least when I was growing up, we had a very fixed curriculum about history. There were certain things that we called history that involved like World War I and World War II. And then only after I was in college or maybe late high school, I thought, what about the rest of the world? My mother is from Samoa. My father is Mexican American, and we never studied the histories of those places. And I became interested in family history more formally, and it's still really hard because we don't have documents. Only by writing are we able to pass the knowledge that we have in our personal lives onto the future generation. So yes, I do keep a diary, and I advocate keeping a diary for everybody else as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Georgina. I see the yellow light is up. And so what you could do in your spare time or in the chat box, answer this one question because I thought it was pretty fascinating. There's two astronauts that were Toastmasters, Jim Lovell and Wally Shearer. Now, you may not recognize those names, so look it up with the list of wonderful astronauts. And I think that what you could say to yourself is, if I were an astronaut, what would I do? And what would I say to share the story and the history and the enjoyment of Toastmasters? Tell us that in the chat box or at a later time. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Ross, for all these beautiful questions. Very much on the topic of this buzzword centennial, and we are all excited for this upcoming celebration. That might be a subject for our club later on. I think many clubs across the world are celebrating. It's about October 19th or 22nd. I do see different dates. But anyway, it's going to be very exciting for us to celebrate this 100 years. It's just beyond incredible. Thank you also to those participants for sharing their stories. And let's move on to next session. We do have a general evaluation session where we give some more feedback in general, or maybe we can pick up on some details about this meeting. And leading this session, we have our newly VPE, the educational VP of this club, and she will give her feedback for this meeting as a whole. So please help me welcome General Evaluator Melinda Muganzo.
Good morning. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, clear.
All right. Good morning, Entrepreneur Toastmasters. Good morning. Good morning. Are you glad to be awake? Hallelujah. And to our guests who are on our meeting, we're so blessed to have you to provide your contribution so we all share and as we all grow. So let's recap for a few minutes. What happened this morning? Why did I wake up? Why did I come to this meeting this morning? Well, you woke up because you're here to make a difference. Number one, you're here to be enriched. Number two, and you're here to receive improvements. Hello, somebody. You with me? Shake your hand and say yes, yes. All three. Yes. So our meeting is that opportunity. Bond, I want to thank you for being our Toastmaster today. You always enrich our lives with Toastmaster memorabilia so we can improve our skills in Toastmasters International and our free toast host. We really appreciate you. Ross, thank you for being our presiding officer today. I got a little few minutes late because I have to wait for a caregiver to help me. So that's why I was a few minutes late. So I apologize for that. But Ross, you always are always there to lead the ship when the storm gets a little rocky. We really appreciate you. And thank you for your table topics. They were very enlightening and helped us grow to the next level. I appreciate that about you. Taya, I know she's not on right now, but Taya gave us a wonderful speech about how to find yourself and how she could be able to enrich the lives of others in their path and as they grow. And I think about myself in growing. I'm now in my doctoral program at Cal Baptist. I'm so glad to be back in my PhD program after my stroke. Praise the Lord, He's healing my body. But when you think about growing from a challenge you might have had, you ask yourself the question, what am I doing? Why am I here? And am I going to the next level? Nobody has time to be stagnant. If you're with me, say yes. Yes, you don't have time to be stagnant. You must keep moving. Frankie, you're always on the ship to make sure we get on this meeting. So we appreciate you. Yes. And April, thank you for being an efficient timer. You see, everybody plays a role in the meeting to make it a smooth operation. And that's what I think about as your Vice President of Education. How can we keep the meeting flowing smoothly? And that's what happened this morning. It was smoothly. Charles always blesses our mind and takes us to another level with an educational moment. So we appreciate you, Charles. So everybody played a role in doing something in our meeting. And we thank the speakers that spoke on table topics because you give us your spin on how you're enriched by the question that was challenged to you. That's the beauty of table topics. And so when we think about how we soar and how we grow and as we move to the next level, always envision yourself, hear me clearly right now, envision yourself personally as an eagle. An eagle, what does an eagle do? It comes down on the ground, gets its prey, and goes back up. You will never see an eagle on the ground hanging out like the chickens and the crows. So we don't have time for that. We're not chickens and we're not crows. We're always an eagle soaring to another level in our life. So I'm telling you today, as your VPE, that's why I'm a proactive planner. The calendar is set out there for all meeting agendas throughout the whole Toastmaster year. Sign up for a role, sign up for your pathway. Just keep moving and soaring. Don't stay stuck. Do something different that you have not done before. Serve in a role. I dare you. Take on a role you have not served in because that's the beauty of why we're growing. We're all entrepreneur Toastmasters. We're on a mission. We're soaring. We're all about the green. Give me the money. Show me the money. How does the money show for you? It's in how you present yourself to others. So, fellow Toastmasters, this morning, entrepreneurs, let's keep soaring. We're eagles. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster, Presiding Officer. I'm sorry, Bond, that's you.
Thank you, Melinda. Thank you for your energy. I'm always fascinated by the energy you can master. I'm glad that you have restarted your PhD program. So happy for you. And thank you for the feedback for this meeting in general. And I will call upon timers report. And April, thank you for being the timer this morning. And how's the timer? Okay.
Yes, good morning, everybody. As the timer, I am proud to say that everyone has qualified for their timing for this morning. Taya's speech was from 5 to 7 minutes. With the 30-second grace period, she spoke for 7 minutes and 4 seconds, so her speech qualified. All of our table topics qualified with a timing of 1 to 2 minutes. Mariatu spoke for 1 minute and 30 seconds. Valerie, and I did spell it with the E, so I will correct that with the A. Thank you. That was 1 minute and 47 seconds. Abe, 1 minute and 18 seconds. And Georgina, 1 minute and 51 seconds. And our dynamic VPE came in and she got it done within the time at 4 minutes and 29 seconds with 31 seconds to spare. Also qualified. Thank you so much. And back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, April, for the very detailed report and all the explanation. Thank you so much. Okay, now we have come to the end of this meeting, and we did have a wonderful speech and followed by very insightful and interesting discussion of centennial celebration of our Toastmasters year, and everyone must be very excited and proud. And again, before I move on, I want to quickly give a reminder about this upcoming shutdown of Basecamp, and let's buckle up and prepare for the outage. And if you are running on a task or a specific project, make sure download the materials. If you already complete some levels, and make sure you send out an inquiry instead of thinking naturally that you already completed. The system may not be going that way that you are thinking it is going. Make sure we don't lose anything. We don't generate any mess more than we need after this shutdown. With that said, I am so happy that I have served this role this morning, and thank you everyone for your participation. And now I conclude my role as tip-top Toastmaster of the day. I will turn this lectern back to our presiding officer. Again, Ross, here you are.
Thank you very much, Bond. Everyone give him a round of applause for leading this exciting meeting and keeping us on time. We're looking at the time right now, and we have a few minutes to spare, but there's one more thing on the agenda, and I will leave that up to our VPE, Melinda Maganzo, to share closing thoughts and anything we need to know about the upcoming meetings. So my term is done as Toastmaster or presiding officer interim, but back to you, Melinda. Thank you,
Okay,
everyone.
I'm just going to talk for a minute because Mariatu has our closing thoughts today. Mariatu. But I'm just going to say that if you have anything that needs my approval, just forward it on to me and I'll do my job in Basecamp to make sure your information gets documented in Toastmasters International. That's my role. And when I think about our meetings, just volunteer to do something. Take on something, do something different. Sign up early, right? Because I like to be a planner and I like to make sure we're structured and have a flow that's smooth. Like today, our visitors, did you tell me, give me your feedback about the meeting today? We had 3 visitors today. You want to take a minute each and share? Valeria or Abbar or
I think
Deborah?
Valerie may have left and I did not
Okay,
get her email. So
okay,
I hope someone reached out.
okay, go right ahead.
Yes. You want the feedback of the meeting or?
Yes. What was your feedback for our meeting today? How did you feel? Did you feel the love? Did you feel the love?
Yeah, it's just wonderful, and in early 7 a.m. I think the kind of energy that everyone here I seen means- that's emphatic, I can say. I thought it's kind of evening, but it's 7 a.m. and everyone on the completely wake up and smiling and full of energy, and particularly the general evaluator and the your energy is just infectious. So I really enjoyed the meeting, and you have so much, so many DTMs here. So a lot of learning for me, and maybe I would like to join also in the next meeting too. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Yes, thank you. Come on, welcome to the family.
Thank you.
Put your email in the chat so that we can send you our.
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to think of, the new campaign is out for public relations for our club. So across District 12, this is the month to be public relations, social media, making sure you're out there. And why can't we win that award as Entrepreneur Toastmasters? Why can't we? We have an amazing VPPR bond. So we can be proactive in helping to spread the word about this club to the world. So check with Bond and see what the plan is. And let's go for that award. How about it? Let's be the
Yes,
leader. Let's be the leader.
we
Whatever
deserve
awards
it.
out, whatever awards out there, let's go for it. I dare us to go for it. Let's stay on top. We're Eagles. Let's stay up there. Let them try to figure out where were we. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it over to Mariatu for our closing thoughts. Mariatu, take us home.
Thank you for that, Madam VPE, Melinda. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we part ways, let us commit to embracing our challenges, nurturing our passions, and supporting one another in our journeys. Together, we can transform our dreams into reality. Thank you for engagement and enthusiasm. And let's look forward to our next gathering, where we will continue to learn and grow and keep striving, keep speaking, and keep inspiring one another. Have a blessed week ahead. Thank you all.